I want to discuss, plant the seed about lifestyle. I, just hiked up a mountain and I sent some videos to people roughly my age, and a lot of them talked about how much their knees hurt and things like that. It's not supposed to be that way, I'm middle-aged, and humans are like the only mammal that fall apart at their middle-aged. A tiger lives to be in the wild 20 years of age on the average. And at 20 years of age, it's very vigorous. It will go, a tiger, its natural hunting range is 4 miles, and it will travel those 4 miles and chase down a deer or whatever they call them there and crush its throat and drag it up into a tree or something when it's 20 years old. When it's old, it can do what it did when it was 2 years old. The reason it's still so vigorous at 20 is because it lives the way it did when it was 2. Humans fall apart at 40, halfway through their life, because they don't live the way they did when they were 15. They don't ride their bikes to get places. They don't have a bedtime. They drink beer and they drink coffee and they smoke and they have bad lifestyles. And if we, when we're 50, play a lot of sports and ride our bikes places and eat our vegetables and don't smoke, our bodies will roughly be like they are when they're 15. I hiked this very steep mountain while talking the whole way and feel fine, and my knees feel fine, and I feel fine, and I don't take medications for blood pressure, diabetes, even though I come from a strong family history of diabetes. As an illustration of how important lifestyle is, Pima Indians have a diabetic diathesis, a tendency for diabetes that's stronger than any other genetic predisposition in the world. Pima Indians who live in the United States, who get welfare money and go to the Circle K and drink a big gulp of soda several times a day, and who, when they want to go somewhere, travel in a car, they have a very high penetration of diabetes. I don't remember what it is, but it's like 70% of the adults or something, 50% of the adults all have active type 2 diabetes. If you go south of the border to Mexico, where they're poorer and there's no welfare, the people, if they want to get somewhere, they have to walk, and they raise a lot of their food and eat a lot more natural foods like carrots and stuff they grow. The display of diabetes, or the phenotypic expression of diabetes, is less than 3%. They have the same DNA. They can be first-degree relatives, a first-degree cousin, brothers and sisters, same DNA. And the ones who live a better lifestyle almost never show diabetes. That's just fact. That's just documented. So, if you want your body to be younger and healthier, eat naturally, get some exercise, get some good sleep, laugh and hang out with your friends. It really is the key to health. Drugs, medication, and surgery, that's not how you're healthy. I mean, I graduated from medical school and I worked in the hospitals at Louisiana State University as an MD, as a medical doctor. And I'll tell you, we're good at fixing broken bones and a bullet wound to your chest, but it's not really good for health. If you start going in and treating diabetes right away with drugs instead of exercise, diet, and lifestyle, you're going to shorten your life and you're going to be sicker. You want to live vigorously, run and stuff. One last story. I used to compete in the Grand Canyon State Games, and one year in my age group, the guy who won the 100-meter dash was from Flagstaff, and he was less than a second and a half off of the world record, which is held by Usain Bolt. That's his name, Usain Bolt from Jamaica. Less than a second and a half, and the guy was like 48, ran for fun, amateur, whereas Usain Bolt is really a professional. He's sponsored, he gets massages every day and chiropractic care and gets analyzed to improve his running. And this guy who's twice his age and just kind of runs on his own and lives a regular lifestyle, but does run and eats fairly well, is a second and a half off from the fastest human being in the world. That's how normal aging is. When we are halfway through our life at 50, we shouldn't be fat wrecks with high blood pressure and diabetes. That's because of how we treat ourselves. If you took a tiger that was young, 10 years old, and made it drink beer every day and drink coffee and stay up later than it should and smoke cigarettes and eat donuts, PETA, the animal rights activist, would flip out for the animal abuse, and it would get sick pretty quick because of what we were doing to that tiger. But we do it to ourselves. And human beings, with all our super intelligence who think we're so smart, are killing ourselves when we really should be smart enough to just eat well, sleep well, and get some exercise.